Hey guys, so this is my first video where I don't really review anything but I just talk. Okay, and today I'll talk about something that I kind of wondered just now. Okay, so sometimes when you are, thinking about your life, yeah, I know one of those times when you're thinking about your life and then you're like, wish I had not done that, huh? So, but now the thing is, life is real life. There are no things you can't undo. I'm not saying, hop on a time machine and change everything about your life, but just, one or two tweaks. Life doesn't give us that also. So, uh, like it's funny, like physical reality, there are no control Z's, right? And the moment I thought about that, I immediately flashed back to the time when I was running some of my experiments. Now, what happens when I run experiments is there are just too many factors. There is this camera alignment, there is, laser alignment, there are lots of things that come into play. And I'm like, if I mess up anything, you know, for instance, I have set everything up and then by mistake I hit the camera. It's possible. I mean, it's happened to me. So and then it's all gone. Like all your hard work gone in a in just one motion. It's gone. And that's when because I remember there was this one time when I had the camera set up a certain way and I'm like, nah, it doesn't really look good. That I mean, I wanted to say zoom out a little bit more, and so I just moved it a bit away and I immediately regretted it. But then it was such a drastic move because I had to move the whole thing and then change the entire alignment, and I'm like, ah, man, wish I had an undo button. But that's the problem with it's real life. We don't have undo buttons. uh, but if we did, just think how awesome things would be, if we were living in a simulation ish kind of a world. Wouldn't that be cool? That had me wondered, in that sort of a world, how would people conduct experiments, right? So let's say I have a team. Okay, I mean, for simplicity, let's just take two people. So I'm there and say an undergrad helper, is helping me get the experiments running. Now I am at a certain knowledge level, he or she is another knowledge level, so of course I'm bound to make mistakes. They're also bound to make mistakes, and sometimes they can really mess things up, right? So let's say we had like two cameras and I'm working on one and the other person is working on the other, and there's a mess up somewhere, and now what's gonna happen, right? So I thought, if we had a world where it was like a simulation, the best way to work on a team is like GitHub, you know. So I could be a collaborator, my other lab mate could be another collaborator, and we could just collaborate on this experimental project. Now, what that would mean is, okay, I'm working independently, and I'm doing my stuff, and he or she is doing their work. And if somebody messes up, okay, somebody messes up, there's gonna be a conflict, and that will be resolved because what we have is GitHub. And so once we see that conflict, we could totally check the two sides out, and then select the one that works. How easy would things be? No more mess ups. And what would be even better is, imagine this situation. So you have set everything up for your experiments, right? Everything up, it works perfect. Okay, you leave that night, next day you decide to do experiments. Now the next day you come, first experiment amazingly well, looks great, amazing. Second, third, also great. But then you, by mistake, maybe you hit a camera or something else goes wrong, and that's it. I mean, because you had the perfect setup and it's gone now, and you'll have to do the whole thing all over again. If we had GitHub, on the other hand, what we could do is, we could, when we are done with the perfect setup, we commit. Okay, we commit it to uh, to GitHub. We push the origin, and the next day when we start running our experiments, 1 2 3, amazing, great. Then there's a mess up. What do? We pull that origin back, and we are back to our perfect alignment. You know, that world would be like an amazing world, right? And a lot of my numericist friends don't realize how hard experiments are, and how easy, or rather how easily we could do things uh, if we had the power of computers, right? And sadly we don't. But it's interesting to think about a situation where we could. That'd be really awesome. So with this, I'm gonna say ta-da, see you, bye bye, and I'll see you in the next video.